Throughout this past semester, I believe that I have grown, not just as a student, but also as a person and as an educator. This past semester, I learned that I'm doing a whole lot better than I might think. So, in the beginning, walking into this semester and walking out of the first day of class, I was kind of a little bit terrified. As a senior, I have gotten this speech probably, 70 or 80 plus times about this course is a lot harder than you might think. This course is going to challenge you. You should basically be scared, and you walk out feeling like you just got a shakedown. But honestly, walking out of this course, I felt more threatened than I had in any of my other courses in my college career. Now, I'm not sure if it's just because I was getting in my head about writing the papers or participating in the deliberations, but it just felt like it was going to be a whole lot harder than what I wanted it to be. And it was difficult, but not in the way that was hard. It was difficult in the way that challenged me to be a better educator and to think critically about my own thoughts, feelings, beliefs, behaviors as an educator. And it also made me realize that when I write papers, I did a whole lot better than I often gave myself credit for. Now, yes, I did struggle in writing these papers, and I did kick myself often when I wrote the papers, especially after turning them in, waiting for the results of how well I did. But honestly, I've always told myself, and even my students in my field experience, now that I'm going to be walking into student teaching, I always tell them to do the best that they personally can, and that you need to do your personal best. And while I may not have done my personal best always in this class, I do think that I gave it my all, and I'm not disappointed in that. I'm not disappointed that I walked out of this trying my absolute hardest. Yes, this semester was the hardest of my college career because I took 18 credits and I loaded myself down and I stressed myself out about upcoming things in the next semester like the EdTPA, student teaching, background checks, and transportation, and getting to and from, or working out meal plans and plans of when I'm going to have free time and completing all the things. But those are worries that I don't need to worry about until they're upon me. And I let those get in the way oftentimes of my thoughts of what's right in front of me. So, that being said, throughout this course, it helped me to learn that I'm doing a whole lot better than I often thought or gave myself credit for. And I hope that in my reflections you can see that while I do answer questions having to do with the course objectives or the dispositional outcomes, I also reflect on why I chose certain evidence because how it reflected my thinking for a certain question. I also hope that I give you clear understanding of how I've grown when I talk about my papers or my discussions or my notes. I do talk about my struggle throughout the semester of the stress and juggling all of the things going on at once, but I do believe that overall I did my best work on both this portfolio and this semester with what I was, offering. Like I said, I was juggling 18 credits, and it's not doable. It is very doable. It's just at times takes some juggling work. And luckily, I made it through. I'm almost done. And I did it. But yeah, so there's all that. Portfolio-wise, I structured it like a typical learning portfolio, Now, I do type out the reflections and the descriptions of evidence, but I really wanted to get on here before all of that and have you hear my voice, have you hear my thought process, and kind of be authentic and wholesome in describing why I structured my learning portfolio the way I did, why I did what I did, why I talk about what I talk about, overall, just how I'm doing throughout this semester or how I did and how I'm doing in this process. I originally going into the learning portfolio planned on doing some nice, pretty Canva presentation and recording a video, but I felt that in writing out my reflections, I could best portray how I was feeling and I wouldn't get tripped up with time constraints because I am honestly not worrying about word count when it comes to the reflections. I know that they're well over the word count, but sometimes I can just write out my thoughts a little bit better than I can say them. That being said, I did want to put my learning statement in, speaking for the reasons I said. I wanted to be authentic and real and wholesome and give you my truest self before walking into my reflections, which I do cite evidence in from the readings and my own work in the class. But yeah, while this semester was tough, while this class did challenge me in many different ways, not only in just my abilities as a writer and as a student, but also as a teacher and my thought processes, and it also encouraged me to be better. I learned throughout the whole entire thing that people are doing a whole lot better than they often give themselves credit for, like I did. So I hope you enjoy my learning portfolio. I had so much fun throughout this entire semester, and I appreciate you as an instructor for helping to guide us and helping us to think more deeply on the topics that we discussed and for helping us to develop our thoughts as educators. Thank you.